You know what? A call like the last one I had from that nice lady, we're going to Gazelle, Eric, and others here in just a moment, upsets me because that's what these tyrants count on. When they start admitting, yeah, we're listening to your phones without warrants. Yeah, we're training your kids to spy on you. Yeah, we got face scanning cameras up. Yeah, we're training your neighbors to report your guns. It's meant to scare all of us into hiding. And that's why I had even been conditioned 5, 6, 7 years ago when open carry groups in Arizona, Vermont, and Texas would show up at town squares. They'd show up at public events with their firearms on their sides. I understood it was their right. But I thought, well, that's provocative. Oh, my gosh, they're getting arrested. But they were going to court and winning. It was their right. They are the equivalent in the 2000s as Rosa Parks in the late 1950s, and people like her saying, I'm not, you know what, I'm tired. I'm not going to go. There's a front seat right here. I'm sitting here. It's open. I'm not going to the back of the bus. And now police all over the country in just 4 or 5 years, when they see you with your shotgun, your rifle, your M16, your handgun, they're not swarming you or arresting you or freaking out on you. Because they want to act like our freedom is like drugs, illegal drugs, or going to the porno shop and buying a Playboy magazine or whatever and sticking it in a bag and, or like, liquor in a brown paper bag, like something evil. Because you watch all these drama shows, all these sitcoms and cop shows, all of them, they're all set in New York, Chicago, or other total gun ban places. And it's always, oh, in your apartment, your neighbor saw a gun, you're going to jail. That's 20 years, pal. To where I go back to this, because this happened, and it was the big, local, cleaner place. And I even ended up having, it was a 2-man team. One guy got mad and quit that day and ended up calling into my Access TV show. I keep saying 12 years ago. It was like 14, 15. I'm over there at my house. Back then, I broadcast out of my house, had a studio in it. And there's a shotgun, just a Winchester Defender, like a $250 pump shotgun. Because I want low tech if I'm asleep or there's a problem. I want an easy to control gun, shotgun or something like that. And I hear kind of like an argument going on back there. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They got there after the radio show. And I'm in there making a sandwich, talking to my girlfriend. We weren't married yet. And I hear kind of, no, that's okay. It's okay. No, you don't have to do that. No, you're allowed to have that in Texas. And it turned out the white guy was from some big eastern city. I forget which one. It was a Hispanic Texan, but he was the assistant, the guy that carries it around behind him, because I actually worked for a carpet cleaner place and was the assistant one summer. But the point is, I go, what's the problem? And the guy's like, I'm not working here. There's a shotgun up there. And I said, you never seen a gun case? He goes, well, that's not in the case. I go, yeah, it's just it's a gun rack. It's right there. It's fine. He goes, is it loaded? And I said, well, yeah, actually it is. I don't have any kids around here. And the guy starts leaving. And I go, hey, here's the newspaper. 2 days ago, I led a gun rally. Here's my picture. See, guns aren't illegal. I caught bribery because that had just happened like a week before. So I was showing him the Austin American Statesman. See, I'm on the paper, the cover of Metro and State. And the guy's like, no, I'm getting out of here. And I was like, whoa. So then I got a bad feeling about 2 hours later, and I call the place, and they go, yes, Mr. Jones, we all know who you are. No, the police were not called, though they almost were. And, I kind of got lectured, and I was like, wow, that happened. Again, I can't have a shotgun in my house in America? And they count on intimidating us out of our rights and out of our liberties and out of our basic freedoms. And I'm sick of it. So I salute all of you that open carry and put up with being arrested, beat up, you name it. But in hundreds of cases have won, saying I have a right to carry my firearms in almost every state in the union. That's how you push back. You exercise a right. They pass some fake environmental law that you can't fix your barn or build a barn. Just do it. How about everybody does it? And nobody pays the fines. I mean, it's getting to the point now, the government's so lawless and criminal that it's time to stop complying. You don't have to fight every battle, but just If you work for the system, I understand pretty much that's all that's left now for a lot of you out there. Just don't go along with everything. Don't be so thug-like. Don't be so happy to nail people to the wall. Don't be so into tyranny. And for people out there that are intimidated, this is meant to intimidate you when Lindsey Graham gets up there and hops around and says, I want you to have no lawyer. It is for citizens. I want you to be scared. They want to intimidate you so you shut up, and then they win. Here's an analogy. You're walking through, let's say you're 12 years old, your mom drops you off at the mall, you're walking, you back out to meet her or whatever, and a man runs up and grabs you by the arm. Do you bite him? Do you kick him? Do you yell? Do you scream? Or do you, because he says, just get in the car and you'll be okay. You're not going to be okay getting in the car. The New Order's got us by the arm. Of course, we're about a 10,000-pound gorilla. They're a little wart-covered, chicken-necked, buck-toothed little vampire. We're like an 8,000-pound gorilla with just giant steel muscles, power, the light of God shining in our eyes like thunderbolts. And this little vampire comes over and grabs us by the arm, and we just roll over on our belly and just shake in fear. And it's got a little black uniform on, the vampire strutting around, telling us how tough it is. And it grabs us by the arm, and we just start urinating on ourselves like a dog, roll over on our back, groveling in fear. It's a total game. Together, collectively, we're an 8,000-pound gorilla with muscles of pure steel. Now, individually, I'm kind of like a squirrel to the little 5-foot buck-toothed vampire. And it might be able to catch me and grab me and stick its little rotten fangs in me and kill me. Okay, but let me tell you, us collectively, I mean, they're scared to death of us. We're fire-breathing, 8,000-pound gorilla that shoots laser beams out of its eyes. And you've got a slug-like vampire that has to gnaw on you for about an hour just to get blood. I mean, it's that pathetic. And I'm not scared of it. I fear God, and that's it. Okay? And that's what we have to start seeing them as. Don't let it intimidate you. All these checkpoints and TSA, hands down the pants, it's all meant to break our will. So if you have to travel and have to go through it, rebuke it, speak out against it, stand up against it. Sue them, whatever. Just let them know, I know what you're doing, vampire. And you don't get the pleasure of my fear, because they drink fear. They do. They drink fear. All right, I want to go to these clips. The first one is a compilation that we showed last Friday on the Nightly News. But this is Obama, and there's hundreds of these in speeches saying Congress is the problem. Should I act without Congress? Boy, it'd be a lot easier if I didn't have Congress. If I could just do whatever I want. Getting the crowds to cheer. He's like a parrot testing its perch. You know, a parrot will test to see if a branch is safe. He's testing. And the system's testing. He's being told, test the perch, see if they'll bend over for enslavement, see if they'll let us put handcuffs on them. That's what they're doing. The TSAs, all for their pedophile training of children, all of it. They're just a pack of ruthless, buck-toothed, cross-eyed, wart-covered, chicken-neck vampires that can't even hardly walk spiritually. I mean, they're a joke. They are bug-eyed, blind zombies. I don't understand the fear of them. And a whole pack of them may grab me, a little squirrel, and eat me. I don't even care. As long as I expose them all. Now we're going to continue with other rodent analogies. Let's go ahead and go to this clip of Obama openly here trying to sell you dictatorship. I can fix everything. Just let me do whatever I want. We've heard that before in history. Here it is.
The Senate blocked a bill that would have created this commission. So I'll issue an executive order that will allow us to go forward, because I refuse to pass this problem on to another generation of Americans. I know some here wish that I could just bypass Congress and change the law myself. I know there's some folks who wish I could just bypass Congress.
Super creepy.
I can. Now, I know some people want me to bypass Congress and change the laws on my own. Believe me, And
cheering for tyranny. Yes, yes, we're idiots. We really think you're good. You remember the very same bankers Bush was.
And believe me, right now dealing with Congress, the idea...
Yes, we can get rid of Congress. Those folks would take your guns in a minute.
Believe me, the idea of doing things on my own is very tempting.
And then we've got him being sworn in, saying he protect and defend the Constitution. Yeah, one of the people he's putting forward with these recess appointments without ever trying to actually get them through Congress was named Chief Operating Officer of Citigroup's Alternative Investments Unit. He is a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, and it just goes over all of that. Yeah, replacing another mob boss daily. I mean, literal mafia. So this is the type of garbage that we deal with. Oh, man, it makes my head spin. Yeah, William Daley is resigning as White House Chief of Staff, and the Budget Chief, Jack Lew, will take his place. And no need to get him appointed. Who needs Congress? You can launch a war without him, whatever you want. Here's another clip from Real Clear Politics of Obama being creepy. Here it is.
These are ideas that have support from Democrats. They have support from Republicans around the country, independents around the country. I want to work with Congress to get them done. But when Congress refuses to act, and as a result hurts our economy and puts our people at risk, then I have an obligation as president to do what I can without them.
Hit pause for a minute. See, this is more recent. It was just a few weeks ago or like a week ago. This is what's happening. See, first, the last 3 years is it'd be great to not have Congress, but unfortunately, I got to follow the law. And then a few months later, maybe it would be good if they weren't there. Maybe I will do what I want. And now, years later, yep, I'm doing what I can. Launching war, shutting down power plants. And they're just like, yay, destroy the country faster. This new Lew guy's involved in all these energy companies and payoffs. And, I mean, it's just mind-blowing. Let's go back to the rest of the clip.
I've got an obligation to act on behalf of the American people.
The foreign bankers?
I'm not going to stand by while a minority in the Senate puts party ideology ahead of the people that we were elected to serve.
Oh, you're not going to stand by.
Not at this make-or-break moment for middle-class Americans. We're not going to let that happen.
No, he's going to help you. Oh, he cares so much about you. That's enough. Thank you. He goes on and on. Yeah, this is the guy when Congress wouldn't give approval for the Libya situation. He just said, well, I get my authority from the UN. I mean, there's no reason to even have a Congress. And I'm not saying they're going to save us either. They're a bunch of crooks that need to be impeached. And again, it's out of this extreme criminality, this extreme arrogance towards the rule of law, Constitution, checks and balances, our protections, common sense, what makes America, America, that they sit there. It's like a bunch of body snatchers, you know, pointing at Ron Paul like he's the guy that's the weirdo. When really, I mean, if you study the Constitution Bill of Rights, Ron Paul is just following the Constitution. But it's so alien today because we've gone so far down this rat hole.